Good evening, all you chemistry cogitators. Since the superintendent's already called tomorrow as a snow day, I want to go ahead and record this video. Don't know how much snow we have yet, but if the forecast holds, I'm going to need the morning to shovel the car out from under all the snow. So the question remains to be seen is this the first of how many days? So we might be checking in again soon. We're going to do something a little different on this snow day than we've done in the past, in that you're going to do a little bit of reading and a little bit of writing. Specifically, you're going to be reading about the communication gap between professional scientists and the general public. Now, I don't mean to say this to imply that scientists are different from everybody else or special or something, because we're all involved in science to some degree. But I am wanting to talk about the group of people who do science for a living and the general public, and there's certainly a disconnect between the way that scientists communicate within the professional community and the way that it's often presented to the public, which can lead to some real misunderstandings. And to look at this gap, we're going to be reading about what is probably the most relevant chemistry-related topic that you use on your everyday life, which is the kind of foods that you put into your body. So I'd like you to visit this blog and read this entry in which a scientist writes about another blog post that was written by Scott Adams, who's the author of the Dilbert comics, and his views on the science greatest failing, which he thinks is what they've communicated about nutrition. And for the sake of full disclosure, since clearly this blog entry is written by the scientist's perspective, here's where you can find Scott Adams' full entry if you want to look through that also. After you finish reading the blog, I'd like you to write a short paper, talking, half page, where you give at least two reasons, two ways that you feel Adams is justified in his complaints against science, citing things from the blog post, and at least two ways that you feel Adams is being unfairly critical, again citing things from the blog post. After mentioning these, I would like you to make a thesis statement and support that, in which you describe which party you feel is most to blame for the communication gap, because clearly we all share in it to some degree. And I'd like you to select from the public, the media, the education system, or the professional scientific community. After you finish this, especially if it looks like the snow is going to have us out for a few days, I'd really like you to email it to me, so that way on subsequent snow days, your assignment may include some revisions that I send back to you. You can find my email on the school's website. I don't want to post it here for all of the internet to see. It's the usual first name dot last name. Of course, there's no STU in mine because I'm not a student. But please go ahead and email that to me, especially if it looks like we're going to be out for a few days, and we will be in touch.